Hello, I was given a couple of water pots, well, barrels with taps on them, back in April, and I parked them at the back till I sorted a permanent location for them. My neighbour had some barrels between our plots to mark the fence line. She took a couple of them to use somewhere else on her plot, so he left a gap in the fence. This gap in the fence where Karen was storing her barrels is now available because she's taken two of the barrels. So I was wondering what to put in this spot. Then I thought, well, I've got these two, so I'm just going to put them over there with the right size and then just level them off. And I've got two water butts here that I can use. I'll have to cover it because this currant bush is rather rampant, so I don't want that getting into the water barrels, but apart from that, it shouldn't be a problem. Just going to give them a quick rinse and a bit of a clean. Well, it's got most of the rubbish off it, and you can see it's quite a bit of gunk at the bottom, so I'll take these out. I mean, it hasn't got to be perfect because it's only water for the plants, so it'll do. I'm tipping them onto the bed, as it could do with every drop of water it can get. So effectively, this part of the fence hasn't really changed that much, apart from now giving me two extra water butts. I'm not really going to use the taps, but there is enough room that I could get a watering can in underneath just about. But normally I would just dip into the top. Unless we get really to the bottom of the tanks and we're really desperate for water, then I'll use the taps. Now, I haven't got my spirit level with me today, so I'll level these up another day. The barrels that were here were level, but they weren't full of water, so just make sure that these are level enough so they don't come rolling down, because below that is my bed, so I don't want them rolling down and squashing all the plants, so I'll have to make sure those are perfectly level. So those barrels there, they just look like they did before, really, not much difference, but now I've got two extra water butts. I'm going to level those two water butts before I fill them. I'm using a piece of wood and a spirit level to level the two water butts. My spirit level is too short to go across the barrel, so I have to balance it on a piece of wood. First I check to see where they are low so that I can adjust them. Okay, they need to be raised up at the front a little bit. I can fine tune this. Okay, so I put a brick and a stone under there, and this is now level that way. And level that way, more or less. It's just leaning slightly, but I mean, it hasn't got to be absolutely bang level, but it's good enough. I can fine tune this. Now to level the second barrel. Right, there's bricks under that one, and I put some stones under that one. So these two are now level, and I can fill them up, or just let them get filled up with rainwater. Now these barrels are ready, and I looked at the weather forecast, and we are not due rain for a very long time, and the rain barrel is absolutely empty, so I'm going to fill these two with water from the tap. So I'll put the hose pipe in and fill them from the tap, and then we can start watering from these, because we're not going to get the rain barrels filled anytime soon. Now, in the time it took me to fill this barrel, this bush decided to drop a load of crud into the barrel. I mean, it's not a lot, but normally I would have the top on. So I learnt my lesson, and this one I've filled with the top on, so it hasn't had a chance to drop stuff into it. And I spent a lot of time cleaning, making sure there was nothing in this barrel that'll go weedy. And of course, that's to throw stuff in. Right, well, that's the two water barrels done. They've got the tops on, and just to make sure, obviously, the wind and storms don't blow them away, just put a brick on top of each one. So I've got two water butts filled, ready to go when I need them. And there is enough clearance at the bottom that I can get my watering can underneath them. I don't know whether it's because I've just filled it, but looks like that might be having a little leak. If it leaks again. Yep, it's alright. It might be because there was water splashing about. We'll see if it's leaking. I'll fix it if it is. You can see from the level of water in the barrels that one of them has a slow leak, which I will find and fix with a little bit of sealant. Well, that's a bit more water storage added to the allotment. It may sound trivial, but in times of scarcity, having a couple of extra barrels of water really helps. It also makes watering easier if they're dotted around the allotment, because you can just dip your watering can into the nearest barrel and you don't have to carry it from one end of the allotment to the other. Goodbye for now, and come back soon.